There was once a man who had awakened from his sleep to immediately roll over and find his addiction laying there, waiting for him to fall back into this awful cycle he called a phone, but was really a black hole. This was a black hole of torment that would torture the man in a form that felt like pleasure to him. But the conscious mind had just awakened not even 1 minute ago, and already so much pleasure. Wouldn't that ruin the man's mind? The man didn't care because the man didn't know that he was trapped inside the black hole the moment he picked it up. He did not realize that black holes could exist in something that seemed so innocent, but that's exactly how it trapped him. The black hole seemed to be innocent in its pursuit of keeping people connected, but this exactly caused the disconnect of real-life human connection. The man walks past his family who is there in his physical reality, not noticing them, and no AM greetings. But I thought the phone was to build connection. Or is that only connection for the innocent phone to give to those who live across the world but simultaneously take from real life connections? The man hadn't realized how much in desperate need of attention his physical reality was lacking because the addiction was too lethal for him to notice anything but it. The black hole made it seem like there was life outside of his physical reality and only life existed within itself. This made the man believe that, well, everyone must be sucked into this world of addiction to the extent where it is no longer an addiction, but rather another dimension that existed where characters could be played beyond who he thought himself to be, beyond the realms of labels that he had known, created, and had been assigned. Well, isn't this fun? He no longer has to play himself. Whatever he wants to be, there it is, waiting for him to claim. Should such a man have much power with no difficulty, the confusion that will play upon his physical reality will be quite damaging, will it not? But then again, isn't all addiction chaos, confusion, conflict, control? The man feels nothing but the black hole's energy. He doesn't realize that he is able to question exactly what is this black hole he lives in anytime he reaches for the illusion of fulfillment. Not giving the mind time to sit on its own. No, how could he? How boring. How peaceful. The man did not want silence for exchange of creation when the black hole creates his physical reality to be full of chaotic energy. The man became used to the chaos and the confusion to the consciousness he would endure if there were change. The man did not want to do anything he felt was hard, so he stuck to what he knew and what his own mind told him what was best. Comfort. The man feeds any addiction that calls, and then is quite daring to question why there is so much conflict in his physical reality. But as long as the addiction was in his hand, he did not acknowledge anything but the false promise that he was the master of his physical reality, but really the black hole has him in its control. He has lost his voice to speak. He has lost his ears to listen. He has lost his eye to see. He has lost his mind to think. He has lost his heart to feel. He has lost his hands for gentle touch. The body of the man was lost within the black hole, so no more of the man could communicate. The man's family is in disbelief of how much the man seeks for pity, when all along nothing was holding the man down but that of his own grief for himself. He thought his true reality made him powerless, though it was the black hole that was taking the energy of the man so it could form it into his anxiety, into his depression, into his anger, into his despair. The man is far too pulled in to believe he is the one to blame for his own mental suffering. There is nothing about the man's physical reality that is changing around him, but his energy shifts as if it were happening in his physical world. The man does not yet understand that the black hole is full of energy that wants to take. He must know that his emotional state is being manipulated by the darkness of the hole that squeezes his brain into mush. He must know that he is not in this dark hole by himself. He must know that he can't see when it's dark. So why does the man think he's alone? Why does the man think the dark hole's energy won't prey on his psyche? Perhaps the man has not only an addiction to the black hole itself, but an obsession with his own energy leaking out into the black hole that gives back to him all he does not wish to feel, though craves to become. Otherwise, the man would recognize the addiction and move to change. The black hole controls the man. You are now angry. The man follows with anger. You are now sick. The man follows with sickness. You are now full of judgment and hateful thoughts, and so the man follows with judgment and hateful thoughts. The black hole controls the man. You will now look to the light with fear. The man follows with fear for love. You will now search for happiness in others' depths of sorrow. The man follows with joy when he sees others suffer. What now good is the man to others, let alone himself? For he is to himself what he is to others. Powerless is the man that accepts and allows all that is told to him truth with no hesitation or concern for what is beyond what is in front of him, for what is beyond what is given, for what is beyond what is told. The man lives a life of no connection. The black hole has taken all the man has ever longed for: a family, his joy, his peace, his life. The man no longer wishes to live. He no longer wishes to go outdoors and connect with the people in his waking reality. The man does not wish to go outdoors and connect with the sun and the trees. The man no longer wishes to stare at the stars in the night sky and connect with the silver moon. The man thinks the black hole is his reality, so he no longer feels alive. Is it a shame the man has never been told he controls all, even what he thinks controls him? Or more of a shame the man has never questioned and come to a conclusion on his own?